Alright, if you guys are seeing this, I'm recording this right after my CD collection video, and I think I said it before, but I'm recording now my top 10 albums of all time. Now, I do have the list of my top 10 albums of all time, but other than that, completely no script. I keep hearing something. Oh no, that's just me. Sorry, I can hear stuff. I want to get right into it, but I will say this quickly just before I get into it for music nerds or whatever, or whoever, right, start complaining about my list. This is purely subjective, not an objective top 10. This is purely how I feel about the music and what I feel are in my top 10 albums of all time. I think that all of them are incredible pieces of work, you know what I mean? And I keep hearing something, oh, it's so annoying. I'll just ignore it as much as I can, but these is purely a subjective list. I'm not putting something like T-Pab at my one because that's not what I feel is my number one favorite album of all time. I think I've already said what it is, so this is just a build up to that, I guess. Without further ado, let's start. We're going from backwards, so we're going 10 to 1. At number 10, I have Blonde by Frank Ocean. I've already talked about it a lot in my vinyl video, so I won't really repeat myself. I think it was in vinyl part 1. I could be wrong, but I think it was in one of those parts. Either way, they could just use some watches. I don't give a crap who does watch it or not. But you know, just amazing R&B album. I actually do believe this, and I said this in one of my posts, that it is the most, maybe the last iconic album cover we had from the 2010s. Sure, we had T-Pam and all that sort of stuff, but those all came before, right? I just don't think there's an album that has just had that quite impact since Blonde. So, just amazing album, an amazing album cover. Alright, at number 9, lift your skinny fists lift your skinny fingers like antennas to heaven by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Godspeed You Black Emperor have slowly become my second favorite group of all time. That overtook people like Portishead and Nirvana. I'm wearing the Nirvana shirt right now, as you can tell. Obviously my favorite clothing brand. But Godspeed's music and the past year I've just really connected with, especially this album, you know. The last album they released as well, I thought was an incredible just instrumental experience that, you know, obviously delves into everything happening over in Gaza right now. And that's why I want to say this quickly. Free Palestine. That is me. I am on Free Palestine's side. But Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven is just a gorgeous experience. It's not a normal rock album. It just sounds phenomenal. Just all the strings and all that. And you know, it's only 4 songs in like an hour 20 or an hour 23. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but that's from my memory. You know, the song Sleep, Storm, etc. Just there's so much you could get into. Anyways, that was number 9. Number 8, I have Aquemini by Outkast. Just one of my favorite rap albums of all time. You know, I said this in my CD one, but Outkast were one of those duos that really inspired me very early on. And this album I think is pure flawless. Just literally nothing wrong with it. Like, remember, every album I have in this list are all 10 out of 10, so there's literally nothing wrong with them at all. So, yeah. Even songs like Mamacita I really enjoy, you know. Also, sorry, I'm not doing my favorite songs. It's kind of a bit hard to remember all of them, but Aquemini, it just sounds just timeless. There's really no other way to describe it. Like, it will just last forever. It will forever last, and that's all I will have to say about it. And that was number 8. Number 7. This is where we're gonna start getting into. I can start talking about it a bit more. I have Heaven or Las Vegas by the Cocktail Twins, or Cocteau Twins. I don't really know how you pronounce the name. That album is just like, I could put that on any time, whatever I'm feeling. If I'm feeling down, happy, whatever, I can just put that album on and just bathe in it almost. I love the dreamy and the ethereal production. This is what I want to talk about much, because the others I've talked about to some extent already, but you know. But this one, I love the guitars. I don't know who, I forget who exactly was playing the guitars on the album, but the person that did, he made the guitar, they made the guitars. Almost sound like synths in some songs. Oh, it's amazing. And I love how you can, like, it's pretty hard to hear, like, Elizabeth's voice, and it's kind of hard to decipher what she's saying. It just adds to this abstract experience. Also, another one of my favorite album covers of all time. Alright, we're nearly at the top 5. I mean, 6 minutes in. So, the next one I won't talk about much because I talked about it in my vinyl one. But number 7 was Heaven or Las Vegas. Number 6 is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. I've already said it before, it is my favorite Kendrick album. Without it, I literally wouldn't be where I am right now, I feel like. You know, the album's just very honest, with very stripped back, almost minimal production, and that's what I love. Kendrick is just honest on the album. For a while, I was thinking it's only a 9 out of 10, but deep down, I think it's a 10 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Again, I think I already brought a lot of this up in my vinyl post, or my vinyl collection, so I won't talk about it a whole lot here, but truly an experience. Alright, and now we're in the top 5 of all time, so I'm gonna start talking about these a lot more, except the next one, because I literally made a whole video on it. But at number 5, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quadeca. I made a whole video yesterday on it where I talk about Quadeca and personal stuff for 20 minutes. Watch it if you want. You can just see how his music has, you know, impacted me, especially that album. You know, I really need it on a vinyl. Sorry, I was gonna burp. Excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard it or not. Alright, let's skip, right. At number 4, By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve. I don't think I mentioned it here, but just, I think this is the best album from the 2020s, personally. Like, there's just nothing wrong with it, you know? I think that it's all just got this chaotic, glitchy, experimental production. It sounds just insane. Like, it sounds like you're listening to someone have a mental breakdown in a post-apocalyptic world. At least that's how I interpret it, right? Just, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, Superman That and Knees have made me cry several times, especially Superman That. That video haunts me. I don't really know what it is, but it just gets me deeply emotional, you know? Every song makes me feel deeply emotional. I'm very excited for the By Storm project, and I did listen to Richie's album last year. I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did. Alright, we're in the top 3 now. So, there's nothing else I really want to add to By the Time I Get to Phoenix. So, top 3 albums. Feels like I'm rushing through these again. But at number 3, I forget the exact name, but the Fishman's live album from the 1990s. I don't speak Japanese, I don't really understand it, so I can't really tell what they're saying at all, right? But the feeling, man, the feel of the album, you know, just, it invokes like just a sense in me of almost optimism. I can't. It's really hard to explain. I know it is a long album, being like 2 hours. I'm pretty sure, but just what is the this phenomenal, you know? Plus, you got songs like "Thank You" redone. Also, I'm not gonna forget Long Season Live, and now it is 40 minutes long, and that is a journey. It's a journey in itself. You know, there's an artist I've heard recently. I started getting into recently, and one of their songs kind of reminded me a little bit of Long Season. The artist is called Trilogy, and the song is called Emerald Eyes. I think you should really check them out. They are make really awesome music. Especially the new album, Sunbelt Princess. That's already top 5 for me this year. I'm not gonna lie, but it is only January. Give it like 3 more months, and then we'll see how I feel. But yeah, the first one's a live album. Just pure perfection. I love all the dreaminess of it. Just chef's kiss of an album. Number 2, Elliott Smith, self-titled. I actually haven't heard the album in a while because the last time I was playing it, I actually just nearly had a mental breakdown. It is it is one of those albums that just it hit me right in my feels. You know, it's just it's I love all just it is a very minimal album where it is really just like his guitar with some extra instruments in some songs, but it is mostly just his guitar and Elliott singing. I love what every song um is talking about, you know. Every song feels like it has a purpose. You know, Clementine, Needle in the Hay. I think it was South Bell. I think it was. I forgot the song name, but just all 10 out of 10. Like, it's actually tied with my number one. So there is a possibility in the future it could become my number one at some point. But speaking of number one, I think I've mentioned it before. My number one is Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown. My favorite album of all time, hands down. Just, it's like what I said about the By the Time I Get to Phoenix. The glitchy chaos production, but this time, many people say it's like almost like when you're coming down, you know what I mean? I don't think I can say it, but yeah, just coming down. Oh, I love it. Just the synths, drums, all that, you know, are really dope with the Absol, Kendrick, Lost, Ain't It Funny. That's actually my top 5 songs of all time. I won't talk about my top 5 songs of all time. Maybe I'll do a top 10 songs of all time at some point, but I hate doing stuff like that because I can't, because I don't really know today, but Atrocity Exhibition is my favorite album of all time, tied with Elliott Smith's self-titled, I would say. But yeah, that's were my top 10 albums of all time. If you watch this, thank you. I'm gonna try and just rest now, so probably no video for until like tomorrow or something. Also, I don't know if you can hear it starting to rain again. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get to sleep, especially because I have school tomorrow as well. But you know, who cares? um. Okay, so I was gonna say something, but no, nothing came out. But anyways, bye. I don't really know how to end these things usually, so I'm gonna say bye because there's not much I can say. But bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Actually, if you guys watch this, I'm not sure what I want to post tomorrow. So if you guys have any ideas, other than the top 10 songs, really, comment them or DM me on Instagram if you have any ideas for what the next videos could be, because I'm always looking for some new ideas, new stuff to talk about, you know. Maybe at one point I'll do some album reactions or first thoughts, you know. I might do some first thoughts on some albums that release some on Friday, so I'll get those out as soon as I can. But those I have to wait until Friday for those, obviously. Anyways, bye. I will see you guys tomorrow. Sorry I drag out my endings for so long. See ya.